James Webb Space telescopes have recently observed the oldest black hole to date. This is Equality, an ancient cosmic monster up to 1.60 million suns. He hit 13 billion years ago, the formed juvenile star core. At that time, this supermassive, the size of a black hole is only 440 million suns. This happened shortly after the birth of the universe, specifically a year after the Big Bang. Then the young universe began to shine brightly. The discovery of the oldest black hole to date answers some key questions for astronomers. For example, after the birth of the universe, how did these vast celestial bodies expand rapidly? Or how they were introduced to us, formed where the black hole was first seen. Black holes in the early universe, as stable as many modern black holes. Fixed growth. They must have undergone some special behavior, process and development process. The black hole we see now, thought to have been discovered by giant stars. They eat the gas continuously. Dusty stars and even other black holes. When entering the black hole through this matter, the resulting friction heats up and emit light, allows us to probe through telescopes. Detecting these ancient black holes, scientists use James networks, the two infrared cameras of the Space Telescope, and use its built-in spectrometer. Divide the captured light into different frequencies, then analyze. They found unusual spikes in certain frequencies. This shows that matter surrounds a massive black hole, emit a faint light. Regarding ancient black holes, one of the most popular explanations for this rapid growth is that they may be formed by the sudden exploration of a giant gas cloud, or formed by mergers between star clusters. Another possibility is some of the oldest. The black hole might originated from a hypothetical primordial black hole. These black holes are thought to be cosmic, as formed shortly after birth, but their existence has not been confirmed. This latest discovery about ancient black holes, extremely important, because the journey of galaxies and the emergence of black holes go hand in hand. Every normal-sized galaxy we know of, there is a black hole at the center. Although these black holes are very massive, can reach millions or even the mass of billions of suns. But compared to the rise of where they are, they're still tiny. Supermassive black holes typically account for less than 1% of the total mass, billions of times smaller. However, these supermassive black holes can still affect to some extent and controls the formation and rise of stars. Billions of years of evolution. Actually, black holes exert an attractive force on their surroundings. Any gas close to the black hole, dust and stars will be found trapped in a mass of matter, and the temperature rises very rapidly due to the compression of the substance. Everything around the black hole will form a thin disk. It's called the western polar disk, and start orbiting the black hole. Astronomers believe that the process is to explore black holes in their hosts. The key to the mysterious relationship between host galaxies deals with the masses of supermassive black holes and galaxies. Core gas velocity, the connection between color lengths. This cycle also controls the rate of star formation, is a key factor in interstellar evolution. If this delicate balancing process is disrupted, black hole effluent may become too strong. Not only does it heat up the gas in the galaxy, it may also be expelled entirely, and that slows down the rate of star formation, or even stop completely. Significant galaxy merge time can cause this. Bacterial consequences. The reason is that too much matter falls too quickly into the center of the black hole, deep in a super secret lab. Scientists attempt to create a miniature black hole. In the latest experiment, they seem to have succeeded. The black hole hovered above the table for a moment, but then instantly engulfed the entire experimental equipment. As the amount of material swallowed increases, black holes are getting bigger, out of control. Microcrystals and test tube was sucked into this dark void. Pretty soon, everything in the lab was devoured. Every time a black hole swallows an object, he will get bigger. attract larger objects. People on the street were like, he went about his daily life. Until someone noticed the distance. There is a constant, the huge black sphere of growth. The house was torn from its foundation. The car is sucked into this black abyss in the air. Just a few minutes, the black hole covers our entire planet. Then it becomes big enough so that it can swallow the moon and Mars. This black hole is now larger than our solar system. Everything in it is heavy. All the planets start to revolve around it. In the end, even the sun was swallowed by this huge fall. In the belly of this black hole, the sun went out. The scene was desolate. But don't worry, it's just a fictional scenario. It's not reality. Our scientists, we might actually be able to create a black hole. In this process, it's a lot safer than we thought. This effort is supported by a large Geneva-based Hadron Collider, led by a team of LHC scientists. This powerful machine accelerates particles by formulation high speed, and they collide violently. When such a collision occurs, it will release a huge amount of energy and produce all kinds of fascinating phenomena. Scientists speculate that these collisions, the released energy may be sufficient to create microscopic type black hole. Some people express great concern, even trying to stop large ones from forming. Machine construction, fortunately, even if a black hole were created, it will also be incredibly tiny, hardly any real impact. These microscopic black holes rapidly release energy. It's usually released as heat. This means that once they run out of fuel, they'll disappear immediately. Even in experiments, it has produced a miniature black hole. It will also be in a very short time. It self-extinguishes in about 1/100,000th of a second. Even a stable microscopic black hole, it grows so slowly, so that in the foreseeable future, it's not going to have any real impact, assuming he survives long enough to absorb the surrounding microscopic particles. So a tiny black hole like this, to increase by about 0.45 kilograms, the mass of a pound of this takes about 5 trillion years. In fact, black holes could be extremely useful. A black hole the mass of Mount Everest can release enough to satisfy humans' total energy requirements. And here's what's even more surprising. Due to the extreme density of black holes, even a black hole this massive, the space he occupies is also extremely limited. We can't make black holes like those in nature. Quite a giant black hole. Some black holes in nature, its mass is hundreds of thousands of times that of the sun. Recently, scientists have observed a genuine black hole. He tore a huge perseverance in the universe. Black holes, one of the most fascinating phenomena in the universe. Their mass is huge, extremely destructive. Let's pause here. If you want to fall in love, why not try it? Love software that can be selected. Hold hands. You can choose the girlfriend characteristic. Holding hands is based on these characteristics. The requested girl, especially when he will recommend girls who like. That's why the success rate of holding hands is. Holding hands is not a mechanical switch, is what you like directly in front. Click on the comment area to try it. Black holes are not just breathtaking, and it's not really black. Their quality is so great that even light cannot escape its attractive force. That means they're actually invisible. Scientists can only pass special equipment to detect them. Most natural black holes are constant, born at the end of a star's lifespan. You can put healthy stars are imagined as giant cubes. They burn hydrogen. It releases an incredible amount of energy every second. The energy generated by our sun is for superhuman capacity. It expands by being propelled outward by radiant energy. This energy eventually reaches the Earth. For life on our planet, provides the necessary warmth. Stop constant. The only force responsible for this expansion is water. scientists study our sun, measuring major events in space. The mass of our sun, about 1 solar mass, for white stars like our sun. When they run out of fuel and implode, there won't be too much drama. However, if a mass, about 10 solar masses of red, giant implosion, then the star could be swallowed into a black hole. In this case, what happens will be incredible. One possibility is that stellar exploration is so intense, so much so that he eventually exploded into a supernova. This spectacular phenomenon will release the dazzling light that rivals that of a galaxy. In some cases, these stars are massive enough to form black holes. In the process, the weight of a star creates an attractive force, constantly compressing inward until it collapses in less than a second. Collapse into a black hole. The interior of a black hole is full of mystery. It has not yet been explored by humans. Here's what we know. Their mass is so great, so that it can warp time around it. Makes a second nearer black hole possible, equivalent to weeks on Earth, even months. In 2019, scientists observed a black hole swallowing a star the size of the sun. Although the star is 1.38 million kilometers wide, it's still trapped by the black hole's attractive force field, and did a dance with a black hole, gradually approaching, eventually swallowed mercilessly by the black. Sometimes, after the black hole has finished swallowing the star, releasing energy into space. In the process, hot plasma is ejected at 6,200 meters per second. About half of the star's mass is swallowed up by the black hole. The rest were ejected into space. These greedy cosmic giants, they can even devour other black holes. Recently, scientists have witnessed the collision of the black holes. One of them has a mass of 85 solar masses. The other is 66 solar masses. When the black holes interact, larger black holes will always devour smaller ones. Therefore, it increases its own escalation, producing a black hole weighing 140 solar masses. It's mind-boggling. However, for black holes, this is still a small event. He will continue to devour everything around him. It may even eventually oversee the scale of massive black holes. These supermassive black holes are destructive to the entire galaxy. Our Milky Way galaxy, it is around a quarter, about a million of supermassive black hole in mass of the sun. Rotate the weight of this planet 1 trillion times the size of a planet. Even that's not the highest quality they could possibly achieve. In theory, black holes can survive without violent explosions. Form away. Huge gas clouds, hundreds of thousands of solar masses, can condense under the action of gravity. If such an object were to form stars, it's already very heavy, so that it will continue to compress, eventually drift past the supernova stage, and directly become a supermassive black holes are so distant, extremely difficult to observe. Scientists, there is no complete model to describe them. We don't know enough about black holes, especially about the inside of black holes. This mystery has led people to wonder how to use black. All kinds of guesses about the hole. We know black holes can warp time. This means that black holes can theoretically be used. Time travel. If you can build a ship strong enough to withstand strong, large attractive force fields, so the Voyagers just have to decide what they want to do. Line distance and fly around the outside of the black hole within minutes or hours of what they feel. It may have been thousands of years on Earth. They themselves hardly age. Black holes are like cosmic omnivores. If any object is close enough, they will be devoured. Whether it is a planet, star, gas clouds, or unfortunate interstellar travelers. Black hole, we're not chasing space objects out of hunger. It simply swallowed everything nearby. They stretched and twisted massive space objects, until they become as compact as black holes. Imagine that. Put one more in the sun. The stars of a large stellar are squeezed into a stratum area the size of New York City. You will get an extremely huge, compact and extremely dense corpses. Its attractive force cannot escape either way. They have no fixed place in the universe. Stellar planet, asteroid comet, and everything in the universe is in constant motion. This is precisely why the universe sometimes appears deaf and confused. Researchers have found, at the center of the galaxy, there is a huge black hole, is being swallowed by an even larger black hole. At the center of most massive galaxies, black holes can grow unbelievably large. Scale of imagination, its mass amounts to millions of solar masses. One way the black holes have become so massive, by swallowing other black holes and merge with it. This merger is the most dynamic and powerful in the universe. One of the big events. Imagine that. This was about 1.3 billion years ago. Black holes orbiting each other. Larger black holes attract smaller ones in more. Now they're locked together in a spiral. As time goes by, their orbit begins to gradually decay. But this process is extremely slow. These two black holes are approaching. The process of getting closer and closer to each other. Another scenario is the dust and gas distance around numbers. It creates a powerful, tiring vortex. This vortex extends and formed above the center of the disk. Ultimately, these black holes merge into a much larger supermassive black hole. During the merger process, they unleash waves of attractive force. These waves, a lot of information about black holes. However, attractive force waves cannot reveal the precise location of black holes. Scientists rely on electromagnetic signals, like radio waves, X-rays to locate black holes. We can't see a black hole directly, but we can detect their influence on objects in the surrounding space. When a black hole passes through a cloud of matter, his attractive force pulls matter inward. If the star or planet is strong enough, then the attracted matter will also accelerate and start emitting F-rays, radiating into the area around the black hole. The energy of the F-ray not only affects the adjacent region, it can even stimulate transversal. The collision of black holes is a massive burst of energy. Since the Big Bang, one of the largest explosions, in less than a second, the energy released by the collision is more in the visible universe, more energy than all the stars combined. Although black holes can get really big, but not all black holes are like that. Constant, a stellar black hole could have a mass similar to that of the sun, and they can be very small. For example, scientists in 2019 found a place about 10,000 light years away. A black hole with a diameter of only 12. Although black holes have a devastating reputation, but they're just another species. Stellar-like attractive force source. This means that, if a space move fast enough, it could be retrograde around the black hole. For example, imagine a black hole with the mass of the sun, and the planets that follow him at the same distance. Its speed of motion will be the same as the planets orbiting the sun. It's theoretically possible, but it's actually not that common, because those masses are related to our sun. Similar black holes, mostly the remnants of orbiting giant stars. The nuclear fuel runs out and eventually explodes to form a black hole. None of the nearby planets are likely to survive. However, 30 years ago, scientists have discovered the solar system, the first planet beyond. These planets were found orbiting a pulsar. They are also remnants of some kind of supernova. We don't know how these planets got there. Survived a stellar explosion. They could be exploded, formed in the later debris. Scientists even have a theory. I think black holes might be something like wormholes, like tunnels to other galaxies. This means they were not destroyed. Objects they swallowed, they sent them to another location. In theory, 50 years ago, Stephen Hawking realized that a dark hole was leaking energy. The scientists then put forward a theory. White holes may have originated from black holes. We still have an idea of how a black hole disappears. There is uncertainty. In some cases, a black hole can become so small, so much so that it loses its power. The attractive force is no longer able to swallow other objects. Therefore, he may evolve into a so-called white hole. The mass of such a white hole could be very light, the weight of a human hair, although it won't be as conspicuous as its black hole ancestors. But there may still be secrets hidden. Like him before, swallowed information on all space objects. These white holes may eventually release this information and become huge enough to dominate the universe. White holes are the opposite of black holes. They release stuff instead of attracting stuff. This phenomenon can be compared to the Big Bang, where the universe is expanding. New objects are constantly forming. However, even if this does happen, the great white hole may not last long either. The objects they released, it may interact with other matter in orbit. Collision occurs, causing the entire system to collapse and become a black hole again. The galaxies we observe, stellar asteroid, cosmic objects such as comets and planets, it makes up nearly 5% of the universe. About 25% could be dark matter. It's a phenomenon that we don't actually see, but the hypothetical mysterious substance, because everything in the universe seems to adjust to his attractive force. And this dark matter is kind of like a spider's web. He will take all those fast-moving galaxies come together. His evil twin is called antimatter. Antimatter particles are like the opposite of matter. Same quality, generational opposition. When antimatter collides with matter, the energy produced will destroy ordinary matter. The result is the release of pure energy. By substance, make the universe expand faster than ever before. One of the latest theories claims that he may have caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. Causes of asteroid impact. The universe does not have a central core, where galaxies and Earth and so on orbit the Milky Way. Tethered rotation. Around every 250 million years. This orbit is not easy, but we can roughly predict. Earth is approximately 60 million years and experiences a massive event. Professor Rapinoe of New York University proposed by tracing our galaxy. It was called the Silver Planet. We can simultaneously tracking some serious events in the history of heavy mass extinction, including about 66 million years ago. The asteroid wiped out the dinosaurs in the Silver Planet. The attractive forces of dark matter. Space object is thrown toward the path of the Earth. This means that some asteroids and comets that are usually far away from us, the star is approaching our planet. One of the largest known objects in the universe. It's Hercules by Zero Great Wall. It's a cluster of galaxies about 10 billion light years in diameter. By attractive force, the largest elliptical galaxy is IC1101. Its diameter is about 4 million light years. One of the smallest galaxies we know of is Sagui is just over 220 light years in diameter. It's very thin, contains only about 1,000 stars. In comparison, our galaxy contains about 100 billion stars. Black holes are extremely dense space objects. They will rely on gold objects are inhaled. Nothing can escape according to its quality. Black holes are generally divided into 3 categories. The mass of a stellar black hole, several times to hundreds of times the mass of the sun. The mass of the middle black hole should be the sun, 100 to hundreds of thousands of times the mass. Scientists are now actively seeking these black holes with missing links. But the universe, the real behemoths are supermassive black holes. Their masses range from hundreds of thousands to billions of cups and proper quality of the sun. These supermassive black holes are located in their star department center. You could say they have an attractive force in the driver's seat. Hundreds of billions of stars simultaneously, planets and moons orbit them. So far, the largest black hole discovered by astronomers is the black hole at the center of NGC 616. Its mass has reached 30 billion solar mass. It's actually an elliptical galaxy. It has only one active core, and it is a super X in the galaxy, one of the brightest sources of radiation. This massive black hole, shot by the symmetrical points in opposite directions, provide power. This is caused by new gas entering it. One of the unique features of NGC 660, it shows the blue meter. This means he is moving towards us. Here we go. Another supermassive black hole in the constellation Draco. It is about 10.4 years away from us, the mass of this superstar. More than 30 billion solar masses if you replaced our sun. The diameter of this black hole will extend into the orbital plane. 2,450,014 is one of the most interesting black holes on our list. Its mass is 40 billion solar masses. It's actually something called Z's in her body. It has the heaviest energy of all lasers. Blaze is an ultra-bright distant object. That's the luminosity of 100 to 500 billion stars, and 3 million times the total luminosity of the star, more than 25,000 times the size. However, due to this, the star is about 12 billion light years away. We can't see him directly. We know the black hole at the center of the inner body consumes a large amount of substances in its about 1,000 solar masses. SE1101 is a supermassive elliptical galaxy. It is so far the most massive galaxy known today. Because this galaxy is elliptical in shape, it's not full of gas. This is why the region's constant. The rate of star formation is very low. As for the black hole at the center of IC111, it has a mass of 40 to 100 billion solar masses and send out a clear radio signal. Recently, astronomers have discovered an attractive force in space. That is, it expands to an unimaginable. I'm talking about black hole Greed 618. The quality is incredible. The letter 66 billion solar masses. This quality is so great. So that astronomers, I had to come up with a new technique, words to describe him, and supermassive black holes. Imagine that. Put us in silver, all the stars in the galaxy come together and compress their constituents into a black hole. If this black hole monster replaced the sun, his radius, still not enough to match, more than 40 times the orbit of Neptune. As you probably know, black holes are made up of possible sea of matter stacked together. But that doesn't mean black holes. It's some kind of space marauder, wandering through the galaxy and devour everything they reach. In fact, the galaxy where Greedy 618 is still a planet full of stars, and entire galaxies of other objects happily running around him without being pulled into it. I want to emphasize that. Think of black holes as giant. The vacuum cleaner is actually wrong. It is very difficult to make a black hole grow. You will find black holes are one of the most mysterious phenomena in the universe, but human minds still manage to study these strange objects. Thanks for these studies. Our knowledge of the universe is constantly expanding.